Hey guys, my name is William Brandon Reed, and I'm running to be your next state representative for the 24th House District of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Now that encompasses all of Greene, LaRue, and Marion counties. I'm here today in our family farm in Hodgeville, Kentucky. We've been farming this land for about 5 generations. We have cattle and we have cropland, and I'm proud to introduce my farm to you because that's where I come from. I'm proudly married to my lovely wife, Olivia Reed, and we have 2 beautiful children. Chloe, she just turned 5 and she's going to Hodgeville Elementary and kindergarten. She loves it. And we have a 19-month-old Alexandria, and she thinks she's in kindergarten. So they're growing up really, really fast, and they keep me busy. But that's one of the reasons why I'm running, is for their future, guys. In about a little less than 50 days now, November 8th, 2016, we have a serious decision that we need to make for the Commonwealth of Kentucky. If you want a better Kentucky, if you want things to change, if you don't like the status quo, if you're tired of a failing pension system, a failing education system, then you have a voice. You have a voice that you can express. And how do you do that? Well, you vote for better leaders. You vote for leaders with vision. You vote for leaders that have proactive eyesight, that know where they want to go, know what they want to accomplish. You can vote for an advocate. You know, anybody can be for something, but it's an advocate. An advocate is someone that stands up and actively fights for something. And that's what you have with me, with William Brandon Reed. I'm trying to be your state representative, and this is what I need from you guys. I need you to believe in me, and I need you to fight for me. But you know what? Before you can do that, you got to know where I come from. You got to know my roots. You got to know my foundation. And so that's why I'm here today. I'm here to talk to you. I'm fighting for you. For several months now, I've been going around attending events, shaking hands, knocking on doors, doing what I can to get my movement and my vision for the Commonwealth of Kentucky over to you. But I can't get to everyone. And I was actually doing a speech the other night, and I told my story, my personal story. And people come up to me afterwards and say, Brandon, you have to get that story into front of as many people as possible. So we thought about doing a video. So that's why we're here today. If you got a few minutes, just sit there and hear what I have to say. Allow my words to penetrate your heart. Allow my words to plant seeds in your mind and your soul. And if you know who I am, if you know where I come from, you're going to want to fight for me, believe me. So here I am on our family farm in Hodgeville, Kentucky, and I'm coming to you to tell you my story. Around 1980, that's when I was born, October 22nd. Around 18 months after that, my parents they noticed that I wasn't developing like I should, so they took me to a couple doctors. And the doctor said I had spastic cerebral palsy affecting my legs. Now what is that? It's really tight muscles and it's really painful. Think about having a Charlie horse for about 36 years. That's kind of what it feels like. Now I'm doing fine. I've gotten used to that, and I go through therapy and do different things, so I'm okay. I don't want you to feel sorry for me, but you know, that's my background. That's where I come from. We all have stories. We all go through struggles. I'm just telling you my struggle, but there's a victory at the end of it, and that victory actually is going to help you. So around 18 months old, they took me to several doctors, and they said he's going to be in special education the rest of his life. He won't be able to walk unassisted, things like that. Well, they didn't believe them, so what they did, they took me to another doctor, and they found Dr. Bowdenhauser in Louisville, Kentucky. Now, Dr. Bowdenhauser is an orthopedic surgeon, and he volunteers for this kids center, and he's an awesome doctor. He's helped many, many kids. He's volunteered a lot of his time. And when he seen that, and when he seen me, when he seen their diagnosis, he pretty much just said, hogwash, guys, I don't believe that. So what he did, he took me under his wing, and we had physical therapy and speech therapy. And you know, when I started kindergarten, I didn't need special education. I started honors. I just started like everybody else did. I didn't need assistant walking. I didn't have a walker. I didn't have a cane. I didn't have a wheelchair. Now, I did have those braces kind of like Forrest Gump had. You remember Forrest Gump in the movie, those braces that he had? I did have those. And that came in handy when kids came up to pick on me. I just give them a little kick, and they didn't kick on me no more. So I did have that. But that takes us all the way through school. I was a hard worker. I didn't think myself, I didn't consider myself different. And we went all the way through school. That takes us to about high school. And when I entered high school, I joined the National FFA organization, the Future Farmers of America. And that's the organization that bestowed on me the qualities of leadership, bestowed on me vision, cooperation, a standard of excellence. And when I saw the first paragraph of the FFA Creed written by E.M. Tiffany, I believe in the future of agriculture with a faith born not of words, but of deeds. Achievements won by the present and past generations of agriculturists, and the promise of better days through better ways, even as the better things we now enjoy have come to us from the struggles of former years. When I learned about the FFA motto, learning to do, doing to learn, earning to live, living to serve, I fell in love with that. And I excelled in the FFA, and my teacher told me, you will get out what you put in. So you know what I did? I planted many, many seeds into that organization, many, many seeds into my high school studies. And you know what happened? It paid off. When I was a junior in high school, I got to represent the LaRue County chapter as the chapter FFA president as a junior. When I was a senior in high school, I was the Lincoln Trail Regional FFA president. When I graduated high school, I ran for state FFA office, and I got to serve in 1999 and 2000 as the state FFA president, representing over 13,000 FFA members across the Commonwealth and over 26,000 agriculture students. And I also got to represent the national FFA as a national FFA chairman, representing over 550,000 students across from Puerto Rico to Guam and from Alaska to from Maine. I mean, it was awesome, and I remember those days, and I love those days. But it was those days that bestowed many qualities that I share with you today. And during college and after college, I got to serve in the Governor's Commission of Family Farms for 8 years. I served under Governor Paul Patton, and I served under Ernie Fletcher. I also served on the State Board of Agriculture for 2 years under Billy Ray Smith. And also, my immediate background is I worked for the Administrative Office of the Courts for 10 years. I was a Deputy Circuit Court Clerk for Fayette and Hart and LaRue counties. And I was also a field representative. I went around and traveled and did court audits and helped judges and clerks on court procedures. And I had fun. I loved traveling. And that's my immediate background. That takes us up to about 2007. And that's a pivotal year. On March 29th, 2007, I was actually working at the LaRue County Circuit Clerk's office, and I just got off the bench with Judge Reed, and I was taking some papers back to the filing room. And when I went through the door, it just so happens that I tripped over a paper box, and I hit my head on a filing cabinet, and then I hit the floor dead on. And did you know that I woke up from that about over a month later in May at the Frazier Rehabilitation Center in Louisville? And the reason it took that long is I had suffered a traumatic brain injury. And here I was at Frazier Rehab, and what happened when I hit my head, you know what it did? It reset my brain. When I woke up, I thought I was in kindergarten. And everything was reset. And that brain injury actually caused a chain reaction to seizures. Well, the doctors found that out, and they got me on medication. The seizures stopped. I started remembering things. I started coming back. But guys, for the next 3 years, I had to undergo vocational, occupational, physical, visual, auditory. If you can think of the therapy, I went through it, guys. But for 3 years, I went through that therapy. I had to relearn how to walk, read, write, all over again. But you know what? Over my life, what life has taught me, you're going to get knocked down a lot of times. What I bring to the table is I get back up. I know how to fight for something. I know how to fight for a cause that is greater than myself. So I didn't want to give up. You see, before I was even born, before I was even thought of being born, did you know our Father in heaven bestowed seeds of greatness in us? He knew me before I was born. So He planted seeds of greatness within my soul when I was born. So when I was going through all that, that's why I didn't quit. That's why I moved on. That's why I pursued greatness within myself. And guys, I couldn't have done it without my Lord Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. He's my best friend. He's my confidant. He's the guy beside me. When I was going through all that physical therapy and vocational therapy and occupational therapy, He was the guy beside me. And that's who I give my thanks to. And that's why I'm here today. I want to serve my God greater. I want to serve you all greater. And that's why I'm here today. We're here. The story gets even better. Because it was at the courthouse, it got thrown in automatically into a workers' compensation scenario. Now get this. This is what's going to get you guys. For 3 years, I had to relearn everything. Well, because it was in a workers' compensation scenario, I had doctors on this side trying to get me back to where I was. And then I had another set of doctors trying to break me down. Did you know I went to a doctor over in Lexington, Kentucky. I met with him for 3 minutes. And his conclusion was that there was no fall at the courthouse. There was no traumatic brain injury. His conclusion was that I was mentally retarded since birth. And everything that I just got through telling you, the FFA, the Commission of Family Farms, the State Board of Agriculture, working for the AOC for 10 years, the only reason that he can conclude that all that happened is because I was cute and people pushed me through. My family was political. Now, can you believe that? I don't think nobody can believe that. Well, guess what? We had about 30 witnesses. We had childhood doctors. Dr. Baudenhauser testified. We had rehabilitation doctors. We had sitting judges testify. We had co-workers testify. We had FFA guys come up from all over Kentucky to testify. We had about 30 witnesses. We had more, but we had to get it down to about 30. Did you know that the Workers' Compensation Hearing Board, did you know that they believed that one doctor over my 30 witnesses? And did you know that they handed me about $500,000 in medical bills, and I also got fired from my job? You see, Harvard did a study a couple years ago, and they said Kentucky is in the top 5 most corrupt states in the union. Now I can see why. Now you know why that I want to go to Frankfort and I want to change some things up. Somebody asked me the other day, Brandon, are you going to Frankfort to fix things? No, Frankfort's been fixed for a long time. I'm going to mess up real good. I'm going up there to represent my district, and we're going to get some things done. But guys, we need your help. The only way that that can happen is we got to flip this house. We've had the same House representation, the same mentality since 1921. For 95 years, we've had that same mentality. Now, where has that gotten us? We have the worst funded pension system in the United States. We have one of the most horrific education systems because we're not allowed to teach the kids. The teachers aren't allowed to teach what they need to teach. They're stuck teaching the tests, and we're stuck having the federal government telling us Kentuckians how we need to teach, and the result of that is not good. We got to make a lot of changes, guys, but the reason I told you that story is when I was in rehab, I had to go for about 2 years, 3 days a week to Brownsboro Road up in Louisville. And when I was there was about 15 people in our rotation. Now 3 of us was there just because of stupid accidents like hitting your head on a filing cabinet. But 12 of them was soldiers from Iraq and Afghanistan. Now they got blown up by improvised explosive devices. I hit my head on a filing cabinet, but we had the same symptoms. But it was during that time, guys, that I got really close to the veterans and soldiers from that war. It was that time that they befriended me and I befriended them. They would tell me their problems and I would tell them my problems. And we had a brotherly bond, guys. It was during that time that actually I grew as a human being even more. You know why? Because people caring for each other, people standing up for each other. And that's why I'm here today. I want to tell you about a serious problem that we have in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. We have a lot of issues. We have a lot of things to be proud about, but this is one serious problem. There is supposed to be a veterans hospital placed in Bowling Green, Kentucky. It was actually voted on in the last session. Now this veterans hospital, we had the ground donated by a developer. The federal government was going to give a 2-to-1 funding ratio. They was going to put up $20 million to our $10 million. Everything was set. The logistics was fine. The ground was set. Everything was perfect to go over. But what happened is it got stuck in Frankfort. Now on that day that they voted, there was actually some liberal Democrats that was actually missing from the session that day. So when we took the vote, we actually won the vote. It was 49-46. The only 2 Democrats that voted for that was Representative Richards and Representative King. That was it. Everybody, all the other ones voted against it. Now, to me, that doesn't make sense. A veterans hospital in Bowling Green, do you know how many people that would affect? It was going to be a 90-bed facility. It would reach people in Tennessee, Indiana, Illinois, all of central and western Kentucky, guys. So that's why I'm here. That's one of the main reasons why I'm fighting. Our past representative from LaRue County, Michael Meredith, he's over in Edmonson County and some precincts over in Warren County. He had to refile the bill. We said, well, Brandon, if it passed, why isn't it a reality? Well, when it got to budget negotiations at the end of the session, Greg Stumbo, the Speaker of the House, and his rubber stamps that he has with him, they actually kept it out. So now we're fighting for it again. Guys, I'm running for the 24th District, LaRue, Greene, and Marion counties. You know what that means? That means the 24th District comes first before everything else. So I really want that VA hospital in Bowling Green because it's an hour and a half away from Lebanon. It's about an hour away from Hodgeville, an hour away from Greensburg. Guys, that is going to affect so many veterans in this state. It's going to help them so much. It's a no-brainer piece of legislation. The money was there and it's possible. So we need to get that done. That's one of the things why I won't get to Frankfort. That's the first thing that I want to attack. I want to help Representative Michael Meredith and other representatives to get that done, to push that through. But it's up to you. So this is what I'm asking you. Now you know who I am. Now you know my history. You know my foundations. You know what seeds I plant. You know what I've been through. You know the stories. I just told you some stories of what I've been through. And guess what? Do I look like I have a traumatic brain injury now? No. Am I speaking to you pretty frankly? Oh yeah. This is where I stand, guys. I stand for you. What is our state motto? United we stand, divided we fall. Well, we've been falling for a long time. It's time for the Commonwealth of Kentucky to get back on their feet like I had to get back on my feet. It's time for the Commonwealth of Kentucky to push forward like I had to push forward. It's time for the Commonwealth of Kentucky to receive our legacy. What does Kentucky mean in Cherokee? It means the land of tomorrow. But what kind of land of tomorrow do you want? I want a great legacy for our children and our children's children, but I don't want them to have to pay for our mistakes. We have to fix a lot of things like our bond rating. We have to fix our pension system. We have to fix our schools. We have to give our state employees a raise. We have to give our fire departments the adequate quality stuff that they need. We have to make sure they have the funding they need. We have to make sure they have the materials they need. Guys, all these things are enough done. Go down the road. Look at your local roads. Look at our infrastructure. It is literally falling apart. I challenge you, go from the southern border of Kentucky all the way to Nashville. Count how many crane operations there are. Count how much road progress is going. I was telling somebody that about tax reform. Tax reform is important. Indiana and Tennessee is eating us up with businesses. Businesses don't want to come to Kentucky. You know why? Because we're not tax friendly. We're not business friendly. We need responsible and radical tax reform to start bringing businesses in. Somebody didn't understand that the other day. Said, Brandon, I really don't understand what you're saying about Indiana and Tennessee and why businesses are going there and not coming to Kentucky. I said, all it has to do with tax reform and being business friendly and being competitive with other markets. I said, but let me give you this example. I said, Tennessee has a Bass Pro Shop. And they said, yeah. I said, Indiana has a Bass Pro Shop. And they said, yeah. I said, where's our Bass Pro Shop? And then they understood. And I know that's kind of funny, but that's the truth. That's where we stand. Well, guys, that's why I'm coming to you. You know who I am. You know where I come from. And you know that I'm a fighter. Who else could go through all that and stand before you now and want to represent you in Frankfort, want to represent your voice? Who better to represent your voice than someone that's actually out here actually fighting for you? Not just every 2 years an election comes by, someone that is day by day fighting for you and knows how to speak your voice. One of the most important words in the English language that I believe is vision. God says, without vision, my people will perish. You have to have sound vision. You have to look forward. Kentucky needs proactive leadership, not reactive leadership. So this is what I need from you. Now that you know who I am, I need you to fight for me. Well, you say, Brandon, how can I fight for you? This is how. The easiest way to fight for me is on November 8th, go vote. Go vote for William Brandon Reed for your next state representative. The other ways you can write to me, literally, listen to me now. Go home, get out 10 pieces of paper. Write friends and family. Write your mom, write your dad, write your uncle, people that are in this district, write your friends, high school friends. Sit down with a pen and paper and say, I'm voting for William Brandon Reed because of this reason. I hope you can do the same. And then at the end of that letter, say, I challenge you to do this. Write 10 more letters to somebody else. Did you know that one person writing 10 letters, those 10 letters can turn into 100? And if they do the same thing, that's over 1,000 people. Think how many letters we can get out if everybody start doing that. You see, you're just not fighting for me, guys. You're fighting for your future. That's what I'm trying to get across from you. I want to represent your voice in Frankfort, but this is your campaign. I can't do it alone. I don't want to do it alone. I need your help. I'm wanting to represent you. And the only way we can do this is have a continuous open line of communication, a continuous open line of trust, a continuous open line of vision for our future together. Another way you can help, well, campaigns aren't cheap, guys. I'm running down the roads. We got to get our message out. We got to do a lot of things. You know, you can send $5, $10, $15 through the mail. Our mail is Brandon Reed for State Representative, P.O. Box 8, Hodgeville, Kentucky. I guarantee you every little bit helps. I had a college student the other day. He said, Brandon, I can't give you much. And he handed me I ain't going to tell you how much he handed me, but he handed me a check, a donation for our campaign. And I said, you have no idea how much that helps. You know why? Because he is now invested into his future. He is now invested into the future of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Well, the other day I texted him back. I said, hey, listen, I took what you gave me. I put gas in my car, and that gas in my car resulted in me shaking 400 hands. I said, you had no idea how much you helped with your donation, your contribution to a cause greater than yourself. And he texts back, man, that is so awesome. I didn't think I gave that much, but when you put it that way, man, I feel a lot better, and I can't wait to get out and vote. And I'm telling everybody to vote for William Brandon Reed. Well, guys, that's what I need for you. I need you to tell everybody, vote for William Brandon Reed for your next state representative. Well, thank you guys for allowing me to come into your home, your place of business, wherever you're watching me from today. I truly appreciate your time. I just want to conclude by telling you a couple organizations that we belong to and some organizations that is endorsing our campaign. I'm a proud member of the Kentucky Cattlemen's Association. I'm a proud member of the Kentucky Chamber of Commerce. I'm a lifetime member of the National Rifle Association. We have a candidate rating with them, an A+ candidate rating. That's the top as you can go. We are endorsed, the only candidate, I mind you, the only candidate in this election endorsed by the Kentucky Right to Life Association. We are endorsed by the Commonwealth Policy Center, and we're endorsed by the Kentucky Soybean Association. So guys, I appreciate your time. I appreciate allowing me to come into your home today, allow me to come into your heart. Seeds of greatness are bestowed in all of us, and I know Kentucky deserves better. Kentucky deserves a legacy that we can all be proud of, and I want your vote on November 8th. Please vote for William Brandon Reed for your next state representative representing Greene, LaRue, and Marion counties. Thank you.